Okay, good morning. Today I am going to discuss about use of color schemes in garden designing. So actually in the life, color is very important because everybody likes colorful life. So in addition to that, I would like to say during the garden designing, we should select the ornamental plants that bears the variety of colors bloom, or we can say the different color flowers that will add the beauty in the garden. So in this one, previously in couple of lectures, I told you use of horticultural usage of ornamental plants and also classification of ornamental plants. So during that time, I told you ornamental plants are different types based on their aesthetic value. Number one, flowering beauty plant. Those plants, they have beautiful flowers, but their foliage are not so attractive. So these type plants are known as flowering beauty plants. And some plants, their flowers are very small, not too visible directly, but their foliage are very beautiful. So second category is foliage beauty plants. And in third category, many plants, they bear the beautiful foliage and as well as the beautiful flowers. So we can say these type ornamental plants are both type, foliage beauty as well as flowering beauty plants. So these three categories, or in addition to that, some plants have nice canopy. So their canopy is very attractive. So for that purpose also we can grow these type plants. And some plants have architectural shape, particularly for stems, or we can say the tree trunk. And some plants bears the colorful fruits, very attractive berries. So example is Fortunella japonica. Okay, that is the citrus plant, but bears the very attractive fruits, nice orange color. Okay, so I'm in garden designing. If we are growing the only single color flowers, that garden not so looking good. But if we are filling the different varieties of plants that bear the various type of flowers, different color, colorful, so that will look very attractive. So basically, main objective of this topic, use of color schemes in garden designing, is this. So you should understand the basic color scheme. So how should we can use the color scheme in garden designing? So color, a visual attribute of things that results from the light they emit or transmit or reflect. So white color is made up of many different wavelengths of light. So we can say this is a combination of different colors. That is the white color. Or we can say the absence of different colors. That is the black color and also the gray color. So white color, black color and gray color, these colors are considered as neutral colors. So that information you will see in next slides. Here, based on the visible light spectrum, Here, I would like to discuss about the wavelength intervals and frequency intervals. So in the left hand side, you are looking at the different colors. In WebGyor, that information also you will see on the next slide. In these colors, based on the wavelength, shortest is the violet, then blue, then green, then yellow, then orange, and then red. So we can say red color have longest wavelength interval. So that's why in our vehicle on the back we have the red color indicator. So due to the long wavelength, red color is visible from the long distance or from too far. That is our main objective. So here you can see a red color wavelength is 635 nanometer to 700 nanometer. That is the longest. After that, second orange, 519 nanometer to 635 nanometer. Then yellow, 560 nanometer to 590 nanometers. Then green, 490 nanometer to 560 nanometer. 450 nanometer to 490, and likewise is reducing the wavelength. So that's why our sky looks violet in color, because violet color have shortest wavelength. Or in terms of the frequency interval of colors, the wavelength and frequency is just opposite, reverse relationship. So red color have longest wavelength and frequency is minimum. So we can say 430 to 480 hertz. Then orange color 480 to 510, yellow 510 to 450, 40, green color 540 to 610, then blue 610 to 670, then violet color 670 to 750. So we can say violet color have shortest wavelength, but in terms of the frequency is maximum. Red color have longest wavelength, but frequency is very short as compared to others. In terms of the color scheme ये plant combination of colors. The color scheme is a combination of colors that harmonize with each other. So in color scheme, you have seen the rainbow during the rainy season. So that will also, I will show you in next slides. So similar like that, different colors. Or in last slide, I discussed you the different wavelengths of different colors. So they have harmonization with each other in a definite scheme, definite pattern. So color meaning are powerful tools. So what is color scheme? So we can say in color theory, a color scheme is the choice of colors used in design for a range of media. A color scheme is the choice of colors used in design for a range of media. That is the color scheme. So in color schemes are used to create style and a feel. So we can say in our garden, when we are growing some seasonal annual plants, or maybe some ground covers, shrubs, trees, vines, climbers, etc. So they bear the different colors flowers that we can use in the color scheme for beautification of the garden. So basically during the garden design, we have to compose all these. So we have to select the plant material accordingly. So we can compose in live manner. So when these plants will grow well, after that, during the blooming period, they will fill the color in that design. That is the main object. Or in terms of the creating the style. So we can say just we can take example of formal style gardens. So I mean the in one side you are growing the red flower plants, then right side other another just opposite side also we have to select the same plant species that will bear the same color flowers. That is the style. And appeal mean the colors, beautiful flowers, they attract visitors because colorful flowers are the attraction point in the garden. So that is very important. And colors that create an aesthetic feeling when used together will commonly accompany each other in color schemes. A basic color, a basic color scheme will use two colors that look appealing together. So we can say in basic color schemes, we'll use two colors that look appealing together. So we can say just you can take example green or red. So I mean the for example in hibiscus or maybe in roses. So when we grow those plants in the garden, so green color leaves that is in background color and beautiful red flowers, they looks very attractive with the green background. So likewise, different other colors like yellow, golden, orange, pink, red, violet color or purple color, and also creamy white, white color, these different colors. So all these colors, if we plant in this systematic pattern, then they will make the sense and looks attractive. That is the main objective of use of color scheme. So more advanced color schemes involve several colors in combination. So in color schemes can also contain different shades of a single color. Different shades of a single color. For example, a color scheme that mixes different shades ranging from very light to very dark. So I mean the we are talking for single color here. So just you can take an example of red color. So we can say the light pink, pink, deep pink, light red, red. Good morning. This is Dr. R.P. Moria, and today I am going to discuss about basics of landscape gardening. So, you know the landscape a piece of land. So on that piece of land, how we can beautify, that is landscape gardening. So what basic concepts we use to design the landscape gardening? This is the main objective of this topic. What is garden? So before we go through, we must understand what is garden. So a garden is a plant space, usually outdoors, set aside for the display, cultivation, and enjoyment of plants and other forms of nature. So actually, this garden is a well planned space. So we should carefully plan at which particular space we have to design the garden. And garden normally or usually is outdoor. In indoor, we can put only some pot plants or trays, etc., just for beautification. Outdoor garden is permanent structure. So particularly if you will talk for a garden, then most common thing it is usually outdoors. So our main objective in this to enjoyment of plants and other forms of nature. So in plants like trees, shrubs, vines and climbers, annuals, herbaceous plants, cacti and succulents, and also the some ground covers, etc. Or in other forms of nature, just we can say if we are considering the natural ones, then maybe mountain, rocks, or maybe natural lake or pond, etc. So the garden can incorporate both natural and man-made materials. So here two things. In our garden, we can incorporate both natural and second one is the man-made materials. Man-made materials means the artificial. So in natural, just like we can say the any running water structure, mountain, rocks, or already existing vegetations, I mean the any trees, plants, etc. All these things we can incorporate in that, or man-made like statue, fountain, agings, driveways, lanterns, music systems, or play tools for playing of children's, etc. Gardening. Gardening term is the adjective. So gardening is the practice of growing plants. So in this one, ornamental plants are normally grown for their foliage beauty, flowering beauty, or both flowering as well as foliage beauty, and also for overall appearance. So in overall appearance means the canopy of that tree that also may be attractive. Architectural shape of the tree trunk, or maybe these type plants bears the beautiful berries, etc. So a gardener is someone who practices gardening. A gardener is someone who practices gardening. So we can say gardener, noun. Types of gardening: residential gardening, public gardening, indoor gardening, native plant gardening, container gardening, water gardening, rock gardening, community gardening, or vegetable gardening and herbal gardening. So these are the different types of gardening. So we can say in this residential gardening. So I mean the if we are planting the some beautiful plants in surrounding of our residence, that is residential gardening. So here our objective is different. So number one is just only to enhance the beauty of surroundings. So aesthetic point. Second one, if we are planting the some loose flower plants, so that may be our objective to get the some loose flowers to offering gods and goddess. So we can use for worship. So this one. So in this one is the to enhance the beauty. Or in other hand of residential gardening, just like the industrial gardening. So in industrial gardening, other than the beauty, enhance the beauty, our main objective is for purification of environment. Because in factories, they release the gases or maybe dirty water. So for purification of environment, we should plant trees in industrial gardening. So they can absorb the carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis and they can release the oxygen. So they purify the environment. Then public gardening. So we can say the almost in urban areas, municipal corporation developing the large gardens for enjoyment of public. So and indoor gardening, in indoor gardening at your home, factories, your office, and also at other places, we can grow the some plants in pots, trays, etc. to enjoy the beauty. For indoor gardening, NASA also recommended the large number of plants. They are oxygen generators. So oxygen generator plants. So their objective is different. But in indoor gardening, we have to select the plants. They can survive in indoor areas. So maybe their light requirement is different. So accordingly, we have to select. And native plant gardening, in native plant gardening, we have to select only those plants they are native of that particular country or that particular area. So in native plant gardening, we have to plant only those plants. So they can well adapted, they can survive well, they can flourish well. Or in other like residential gardening, public gardening, indoor gardening, or any other type of gardening is not necessary. You can incorporate native plants as well as exotic plants, both type plants. In those gardens, our objective, how we can beautify those gardens. Then container gardening. Container gardening is a kind of indoor gardening. In container gardening, only we are planting plants in containers. So in containers, we can use the plastic containers, fabrics, cemented or earthen pots, all these things. And also the pots in different shape, circular, rectangular, polygon in shape, different shape and size available. And similarly the trays, polythene bags. So I mean we can grow these plants in containers. So that is known as container gardening. So container gardening is also two types. Number one, just only for beauty, or also you can grow some food plants like spinach, tomato, chilies, eggplant, etc. Then row gardening. So particularly in row gardening, we have to grow plants in rock areas. So in rock areas, we can see the less soil, more stones, rocks, etc. So less soil depth. So in these areas near the rocks, or we can see during the summer season, when summer season is too hot, so in that is too hot. So the plants we select for rock gardening are xerophytic in nature. Xerophytic means those plants they can survive at minimum moisture. So we can see the water requirement is too low. Okay, and also these plants are heat tolerant, drought tolerant. So these type plants. So normally in rock gardening, we use the plants like mostly cacti and succulents. They are suitable for rock gardening, and these plants are xerophytic in nature. Then community gardening. See, this is community gardening. This is a social activity. So I mean, in colonies or villages, if all people of that particular area are social socially developing the any garden area, that is community gardening. Then vegetable gardening. In vegetable gardening, just we consider for kitchen gardening. So in this one, we can grow some vegetables to meet out the vegetable requirement for your kitchen. So in this one, these vegetables can solve your purpose. They can enhance the beauty, as well as you can get the food materials like tomatoes, brinjal, chili, cabbage, cauliflower, onion, etc. And herbal gardening. In herbal gardening, we select the large number of plants especially for medicinal plants. So in medicinal plants, they contain the many alkaloids, so they can use as a medicinal use. So they can cure the certain diseases. Good example here, basil. In Hindi, we will say tulsi. So, what is landscape? Landscape is a picture representing a section of natural inland scenery, as of prairie, woodland, mountains, and expanse of natural scenery seen by the eye in one view. So we can say in like landscape. For example, on a plain paper, if we are designing the any scenery, we incorporating the all mountains, rivers, plants, flowers, ground covers, fountains, rocks, lake, etc. So similar like that scenery, if we are creating that structure in life on the piece of land, that is the landscape. What is landscaping? Landscaping is a practical method of dividing your outdoor space, relating one area to another in a way that makes sense and requires a broader look at the garden as a whole. So we can say in landscaping, this is a practical method. So I mean, if you are doing anything in in outdoor areas, so you just can divide in the different segments. Different segments means, okay, this particular area contains the too much rocks. So better we can develop the rock gardens in that part. Or maybe some part is low, water filling during the rainfall. So by creating the some special structure, we can create their lake. Or maybe in some plain areas, we can grow the grasses and we can develop as a lawn or turf. Or we can say the high level areas, we can develop the gazebo. Or maybe to enjoy the whole area of garden, we need the driveways. Also, we need the lights, so lanterns, etc. Or if we want to play area for children, then we can install the some play tools. So these are the objectives are different in that. So landscape professionals. So in landscape industry, three kinds of professionals. Landscape architects. So they can prepare the design on paper. Landscape designers. So I mean if we get the proper design on the paper, that design by architects, landscape designers, they implement on the ground, on piece of land. And landscape contractors, they develop the landscape. They're doing the gardening work. These are the three important professionals. The essential questions: does this space work and does it suit my needs? So I mean when we select the any area for landscaping purpose, then we have to clarify these essential questions. Does this space work? I mean if this particular piece of land work for me or not? Does it suit my needs? I mean what is my basic needs to design this part? Is this is suitable for me? Then next question, can I sit and eat pleasantly outdoors? So this one also important. Can I sit and eat pleasantly outdoors? Can I walk where I need to go without stepping in soil? So I mean during the garden designing, it is also very important. Can I walk where I need to go without stepping in soil? Without stepping in the soil, can I walk around in the whole area of the garden? Is the terrain safe or will I slip and stumble? So I mean if land is sloppy, terrace, that is safe, or myself as well as the visitors can slip on that or stumble. Are the boundaries marked and contained? This one also very important. Is there a space for the special interest of family members and guests, kids, athletes, swimmers, and gardeners? So this one also is very, very important. Why am I doing this? Yes, so you should ask yourself this question. Why am I doing this? You may see a lot of potential for garden development. So I mean these certain questions, if you will ask yourself, then you will find out the solution of that. You will generate your ideas and you will get a lot of possibilities to develop that. So you may see a lot of potential for garden development. Good reasons exist for taking on landscaping renovations, whether small or large, and they all start with space and function. And they all start with space and function. Moving mountains. Who does the work? Moving mountains. So I mean for example, some part of that is undulated, and we want to make the plan. So for this, we have to just. This is very simple one, so we can do manually. Or that work is too heavy, then we need the machineries like JCB, tractors, or any other. Calling for help, hiring a professional. So I mean in first picture doing the turfing. So for this purpose, we need this professional worker to do this. I mean if we are doing some artistic designs in that. Buying plant materials. So I mean in garden designing, we need to buy some ornamental plants. So from which place we have to purchase or we have to buy plant material? So for that purpose, we need to find out the good nursery that have all varieties of plants. They have good quality plants. So all these things. Buying hard materials. So I mean for example, if we want to develop some designs, hard escapes. So I mean for edging we need the curved stone. For walkways, if you need the tiles, stones, or any other artistic material, then you must know where these hard materials are available. If you want to install the fountains, statues, lanterns, play tools, all these things, then we must find out where we can get the good quality hardscape materials. Understanding the basics, grades, levels, and drainage. Grades, levels, and drainage. So grading, we have to do leveling of the land. So we need the tractors, JCB, etc. for rough grading. Hello everyone, this is Dr. Rajendra Mori, and today I am here to discuss the some aspects of plant propagation. Plant propagation, plant propagation is the multiplication, or we can say the plant propagation is perpetuation or multiplication of a plant is known as plant propagation. And in simple language, we can say when we are increasing the number of plants from a plant, that is known as plant propagation. So generally we can propagate the plants from the seeds, that is the sexual propagation, or also we can propagate plants by vegetative part of a plant, that is known as asexual propagation or vegetative propagation. So that is also known as the clonal propagation. So all these things we will discuss today. मेरा मोबाइल ला देना. So in plant propagation, just I told you sexual propagation or asexual propagation. So in this, however, is the broad classification of this. But today we will discuss a few important things. So in this one, the new plant life starts with simple seed, cuttings and graftings, or tissue culture. So in this one, we can say the number one, if we are propagating by the simple seeds, that is the sexual propagation. So in this is also, we can say the some crops in horticulture, some crops are direct seeded crops and sub crops. First, we need to raise the seedlings, and after attaining the proper age, or we can say the height, those seedlings will take out from the nursery and transplant in the main field or on permanent beds. Next thing here, the cuttings and graftings. But in other hand of this, this is a part of asexual propagation or vegetative propagation. So in this one is the total 5 techniques, or we can say the 5 different methods of vegetative propagation. So in that is the number 1 cutting propagation, then layering propagation, and number 3 the specialized vegetative structures. So in all these 3 vegetative propagation techniques, only single plant involved. And remaining 2 is the grafting and budding. So in grafting and budding techniques, joining of genetically two dissimilar plants, that is the uh, budding or grafting techniques in vegetative propagations. So in budding and grafting is also, we can see the difference. In case of the budding, so we can say the only single healthy bud we take out from the mother plant as a sign, and that was inserted on the root stock. So we can see we join the genetically two dissimilar plants by healthy bud. Okay, so healthy bud, that should be are slightly dormant in conditions. So if you are joining through the single bud, that is known as the bud, or we are joining the genetic through the twigs that sign wood bud that contains the several